What is your will, my master?
Hey, good morning, Warren, and Merry Christmas. This is the Solo Sabers Saber Demo Christmas Edition. This is for your, um, this is the Darkness V3 by SP Sabers and Props and Phoenix Props. As you know, I got a majority of this done yesterday. I got the actual Saber done yesterday. Couldn't sleep last night. I usually stay up pretty late Christmas Eve. Um, so to keep myself busy, I went ahead and I finished off your two side blades. So I got these here, and I've polished off your config on this too that you wanted. So everything on this guy is done. The only thing I will say that I need to do to this particular saber before I send it off was normally there are three bolts that come in the handle right here. As you can see, two of them are missing. It came with one bolt, which is no big deal. They're 3 millimeter by 10 millimeter long. Excuse me. Of course, there's nothing open today, but tomorrow I will go to the hardware store and I will get two of those, and then I will put those in there for you. And then after I do that, the saber will be complete. But it's no biggie. Install with the Proffie V2. You've got three sets of CC Sabers lit PCBs here. So one in your main emitter, and then one in each of your side blades right there, as you can see right there. All right. And then how you want to get to the chassis on this guy. I cut the wire right here so you can just pop it out of the clip just like that. And then normally you take off all three bolts. We're going to take off the single bolt in this case. So I took off that single bolt. You want to be careful because once you do that, it makes this upper shroud loose. And of course the handle is loose and you can pull the handle right out here. Now this upper shroud comes off too, but before you do that, you're going to want to flip it to the back, and you've got your main activation switch right here, and it's on there with a magnet. So all you like to do is just come over here with a pair of tweezers, and I can pull it right out just like that. All right, so it's got a magnet on there. We'll put that off to the side for a second. Once you take that off, if you wanted to, you could slide this entire shroud off, and that's what you're left with right there. So we'll put that off to the side, and you've got a fully exposed saber, right? So at this point, there's your activation switch with that magnet that's glued to it. Hopefully you can hear that. Flip it over here. This is your auxiliary switch in the front, and that button is located on the shroud, and we'll go over that here in a second. And then here is your chassis. So you got your Proffie board right here. This chassis that I designed was designed for the intent of being able to get to your SD card and your micro USB without ever moving the board. That shelf is dropped down in there enough where you can grab a pair of tweezers and pull that SD card out. And because of that, I do adhese these boards down to these chassis, right? So that it's not quite a press fit and needed a little bit of help staying there. So that's what I did there. Now you can see that, but if you flip it over this way, right here is your kill switch. All right, so I like to put it up here, easy to get to. You've got a removable battery set up, so this is for a 21700 battery. Of course, I won't be sending the battery because this will be shipping to Canada. But if you and I think you and I discussed this already, but this is what I get. And if you need a link to this, let me know, and I'll definitely send you that link. But this is the batteries that I use. Always use a protected cell. Keep powers are the best, you know, in my opinion. Can't go wrong with the Keep Power battery. And then you've got 28 millimeter Smuggler's Outpost Elite speaker. I did weather up the chassis just a bit. If I didn't weather it, it comes like this, which is cool too. But this was just a little bit bright, so I just wanted to dumb that down a little bit so it matched the saber, and that's what we did there. And we'll go ahead and we'll throw a battery in this, and I'll show you on one font what the chassis does, because on each side you have a 8 pixel strip, these 50-50 pixels right here. You got an 8 pixel strip in this vent, and then you flip it over and you've got another one in this vent right here too. So this saber has 4 blade styles. You've got one for your main blade. Each side blade has its own blade style and coating, so that's 3. And then your fourth blade style is these two LED strips that are wired together. so they act the same. Okay, so that's what we've got going on there. If we take a battery, throw a battery in here, it's a nice snug fit. It's meant to be that way. Nothing's gonna happen because I haven't flipped the kill key, right? So I'll come over here and I'll flip the kill key.
I'll show you the dark side.
And that's what you've got going on in the chassis portion. So you can see that going on over there, over here, and then from the top you can kind of see it going together, right? Until we flip it on. You got your LEDs fired up. Just like that. And the chassis will do this on every sound font. I just wanted to show you on the first one, you know, what to expect. But we're going to go ahead and assemble this saber back, right? So we want to take the shroud, line it up, clamp it in there. We'll take the handle then, put it on. And then once all that's on, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put that single screw in. Now, of course, you're going to have to do this with 3 screws. But it's no big deal. Takes a little bit, but it's no big deal. You'll get it, no problem. So once I lock that handle down with those 3 screws, I can come over here with my wire. I can slide my wire back into the top of that clip so it looks like it's all one piece. And then finally I can take my activation switch right here that has the magnet, and I can just throw it right in there, right? So now it's going to stay right there. So now if I hit activation, nice and loud. Auxiliary is the bottom pill switch right here. I can tap it again and turn it off, or I could swing on and twist off, just like that. Now we'll go ahead and we'll throw your side blades in here, and we'll throw your main blade in as well. I'll probably cut the video off at this point because it is a little bit of a process, and you don't need to sit here and watch me put in blades. But I'll be right back. Okay, so I got all 3 of your blades in. When you flip this to the back, you will see that your 2 set screws here for your blade retentions are there, and then you have a very small guy, if you can see it in the camera, very tiny guy right there. You have a set of Allen keys that come with this saber that are for all the various screws on this saber. But what I found, it was a little bit difficult for me to use the Allen key that's provided for this guy, although you can do it. I just have a kit that I got from Hobby Lobby that's got this. I've got many of these, and I found one that worked, and I just prefer to have it on a handle. So Hobby Lobby, or whatever the equivalent is in Canada, you can pick up, you know, this is what I got right here. And it's a super handy kit to have, especially for stuff like this, right? But anyway, I locked that down, locked all these guys down. So when we flip it on, here's what you got. So you got your main blade. All of the sound fonts have the blade styles that you asked for. So if you get a close look at each of the side blades, right? If we want to go to another sound font, this has all 7 that you asked for, and it's in the order that you wanted them.
Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren.
Sounds really good with the sound venting. Of course, you know, we're just hitting power for 1 second, letting go to get to the soundtrack, and then doing it again to turn it off. Royalty.
So who talks first? You talk first. I talk first.
I talk first. I always talk first. Well, technically you just talked first, but... God damn it.
So it's worth mentioning this is the sound from J DeLorean, and it came with its own blade style. So that is the blade style that you see here. It came with its own main blade style, and it had a style for the side quillions as well. We'll do it one more time because that's pretty cool. And then the seventh one is young Solo, which I gave you a blue blade. Just like that. So everything's working like it should. I'm going to take these blades out and then I'll be right back. So while I was taking the blades out, I went ahead and I took that, excuse me, I took that bolt out of the handle as well. So we can go ahead and slide the handle off. And then we can come over here. If I turn the saber on, come over here and hit the kill switch, you can see it cuts everything off exactly like it's supposed to, right? So I'm going to leave the upper shroud on so I don't have to take the activation button off. But you can either leave your battery in since it's got a kill switch, or you can come over here and you can pop it out. If you choose to pop it out, though, you probably need a small tool to get it. And then it'll come right out just like that. It's just not something that you can do with your finger probably because it was meant to be pretty snug in there. But anyway, that is basically your Darkness V3 with side blades all configured out. Copy of the config is on your SD card as always. Let me know if you got any questions. If not, I will send this out as soon as I can go get 2 more bolts for your handle. All right, thanks.